All right, Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect that will be saved in this destruction to come. Shalom. Yeah. Got a lesson here. It's supposed to be quick, but we just do it now. I'm your brother Shaquat from GMS Sin City, Las Vegas, Abad Sin City, and I got just a little lesson basically about the measuring stick and what it's measuring. So I'm gonna start with this. Let's start with Revelation chapter 11. Oh, let me set this right here. Revelation chapter 11. Work. In Revelation chapter 11 verse 1 it says, bad connection. Anyway, it is what it is. It says, and there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High. Basically, to measure the people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you guys are the temple or the people of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Those people, and they're also scattered across the four corners of the earth as well. But we have to fish them, and how do we fish them? We fish them with this word. Like it says, we'll send for many fishers, and then we'll send for hunters. We're fishing those men out. I'll make you fishers of men, right? But the point of this is we have a measuring stick, and what do they have to measure up to? The standards, the level of an Israelite according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai written in his Bible. That's what this is written about. That's what this is for. This is why. It says, and the altar and them that worship therein, but the court which is without the temple leave out the measure, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot in 40 and 2 months. The whole point is that those people, whether it be the Israelites, the 2/3 Israelites that aren't meant to get this, that's meant to get the destruction, they're not going to measure up to this thing. And also the other nations, they're not meant for this thing either. It's not even for them. We just have to give them their judgment, but it's not for the other nations to take this word upon them. Now, if you're an Israelite and you look like another nation, then that's a separate thing. But the actual heathens, it's not for you heathens. It's not for you so-called white people, Caucasians, according to your father line. If your father line goes back to the Edomites, it's not for you. If your father line goes back to East Indians or Arabs, and you're from Elam, which is the East Indians, or Ishmael, which is the Arabs, it's not for you. If you're Ham, the Africans, it's not for you. Moab is not for you. The so-called Chinese is not for you. Japanese, Ammon is not for you. Japheth, the Polynesians, Hawaiians, and so on, and Samoans, and what's that other Tongans and all that, is not for you, unless your father line goes back to the Israelites. That's when it's for you. Yeah. 1 John chapter 4, verse 6 is the point. 4 and 5. 1 John chapter 4, verse 5 says, They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High, Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai was the name of his only begotten Son. It says, heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us, hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. How do we know of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Well, through the Bible. That's the way we know who they are, by through the Bible. That's how we know that it's that same measuring stick, that same standard. That's what this is, straight up in this Bible. That's how we know who is for this thing and not for this thing. It says, try the spirit by the spirit, to see if they are of the Most High. See if I can remember where that's at right quick. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. The point being is that's how you test it. You put this word to them. You show them this word, and you teach it to them. You break it down for them the right way, in the proper spirit and truth, and that'll will prove if they're for this word or if they're not for this word. Because a lot of people say they, I gotta get that one. Let me get that one right quick. Isaiah, I'm not far from it. Isaiah 20, I'm right there anyway. Yep, Isaiah 20. Where is it at? One second, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, Isaiah 29:13. Wherefore the Lord Yahweh Bashim Ashai said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. And your heart is your mind, but remove their minds far from the Heavenly Father, and their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. Yeah, that's a lot of people think about the Most High and think, the theologian doctrine of it, the Catholic Christian church of it is how they go about the fear of the Most High, but that ain't the rule way it's supposed to be. That's not how the fear for the Most High is supposed to be. You're supposed to know that this is that time that he's about to come back and judge everybody. You got to know that's how he deals. He's a man of war. He's an austere man, just like his son Yahweh Shai is. Straightforward, straight to the point, no bullshit, man. Do they have a sense of humor? Yes. But the point being, if they ain't coming back to play no games, and this measuring stick, so to speak, is what's gonna be whether we measure up or we don't. Isaiah 29, Isaiah 28:17 said, judgment will I lay to the line, right? And righteousness to the plummet. It says, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And that's what this word does. It's going matter of fact, I gotta get it. Salaki, you know how the scriptures are, man. Scriptures, you call stuff or you write stuff down, but then the Spirit will move stuff for you. Let me write these in here also. Salakia, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. I'm gonna bring that out. Now I just read Isaiah 29:13. Yeah. Hebrews 4:12 says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. So this word will call you out, man, down to your barest essentials, man. It'll call you out to where you're gonna be proved if you were good or evil, whether you measure up or you do not. That's what this word does, and that's what it's saying over here in Isaiah. Let me read it again. Isaiah 28:17. It says, judgment will I lay to the line. Yep, you're gonna have a line. He's gonna judge at that line. If you don't measure up, boom. If you do measure up, you're good, right? It says, and he shall in the hail, Salaki, in the hail. Wait, let me start it over. Judgment will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and to the, I can't look it up, but to the plummet. See if I got a dictionary around here. See if it pops up. Because these words, man, you gotta go check these. That's not it. That's the other one. Sometimes you gotta look these words up, man, just to get better understanding of what it's talking about. Plummet. Let's see, PLU. Just for edification's sake, if it's in here, plummet, fall straight downward. Plummet. It's the same thing. Plummet. To plummet means to fall straight down. To drop, right? It says, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, right? And the waters shall overflow the hiding place. A lot of people are hiding in their daily lives, um, the things that's coming. They're hiding the things that the secret sins, so to speak, within their daily lives. Well, when all this comes, the Most High sees all of that. That's why I said discerning in Hebrews the 4th chapter, discerning bone and marrow and so on and so forth, the intents of the heart. He gonna know whether you was good or evil, whether you everything about you when that comes down. When he comes down to judge with that fire, with that fire and hell. That's hail. Say it that way so you don't misinterpret what I'm saying. That he's gonna judge you. He's gonna know whether you was good or evil, and he's gonna judge you in that moment because his word and even the judgment in this word, the second death that's coming. With the destruction of America and the missiles and the parts of the earth. If you're not of the elect, man, it's a wrap for you. If you're a Jake, and if you're a heathen, it's a wrap for you also because you still got to go into slavery. If not be killed, then you got to go to slavery. But period, point blank. That's what the standards of the Bible is talking about. That's what this book is all about. That's what it's reminds you or brings to mind if you don't have the fear for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? It says, let me read that. And the waters shall overflow the hiding place. Right? This word gonna go into all the creeping, and bring everything out about you. All your lowest moments, all your highest moments, it's gonna see it all. Right? It said, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Yeah, because then once you get cleansed by this thing, now you have the opportunity to get salvation. And you're walking in wisdom now, not in a covenant of death. It says, and your agreement with hell, with the grave, shall not stand when the overflowing scourge shall pass through. Yeah, because that overflowing scourge, man, is going to be that second death, man. That's what we need to worry about. That's what salvation's about. So when you born again Christians, so to speak, come and say, yeah, I'm saved, and ain't nothing went down. Hey, man, what are you saved from? What are you really saved from? Oh, I'm saved from sin. How? When? Scriptures say, though vengeance, though sentence against an evil work isn't executed speedily, and then continuing on, you people do what you do, but continuing on and say the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So you people still continue to do evil, even though you ain't being judged, because you don't know where that line is at, and you don't know that major day is coming. Well, that major day is coming, man, where you're going to be judged. A lot of you Christians is going to be destroyed, man. Not because you thought but Jesus, no, that ain't going to fly in that day. Because everybody is going to hear this word before the judgment comes. You're going to have that opportunity. He's going to make sure that all of you know when you're judged when he comes down to judge you, and you're gonna know it's him that's doing it by the catastrophe and the high level that is gonna come with. It says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Yeah, if you come up short, you're gonna be trodden down by that scourge. Scripts I didn't have written down. Spirit is moving though, right? Second Esdras 8:50. Yeah, it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Because you walked in great pride. Let me keep reading. So a lot of y'all gonna get that scourge, man. Like the scriptures say. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just get them, man. I'm gonna just get them since I'm right here anyway. Spirit's moving. Keep moving with it, right? That's the spirit. Yep. Man, I'm not even gonna get the plagues. I'm gonna just tell you, that's for another video. But I'll read this though. 2nd Esdras 16 and start 17. Woe is me, woe is me. This floating white Jesus is gonna come down on a cloud with roses and daisies and whatever, and save you and rapture you up out of the destruction before you have to go through it. Well, that's not what's about to happen. You're about to go through some shit first, and then the elect will scarcely be saved. Right? It said, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Right? The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. Evils means bad time. It says, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Yeah, what are you going to do? Because you're about to be judged by this measure stick. What's right, what's wrong? If you measure up or not, according to this book, in the right spirit and truth. Not by the happy prosperity doctrine, love everybody doctrine that the church puts out there. That's not the measuring stick you're going to be measured by. You're going to be measured by the prophecies, the law, statutes, and commandments. Will not so much judged by that, but your faith toward Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's the major thing that you'll be, if you believed in that name, you stood stiffly for the name, so on and so forth. Those people will get salvation. It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Yep. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah, you people gonna get it, man. Let me read this. 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm gonna jump straight to the point. Yeah, straight to the point. Verse 10, it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, because the law is only for the Israelites, man, for you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those that's of that spirit scattered through the four corners of the earth, man. It's for you. It's only for you. It's not for everybody. It's only for us. It says, while yet they had liberty at this time now, while you got liberty, it says, and when yet as place of repentance was open unto them, understood not and despised it. A lot of you walk by, we watch you, man, especially you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, meaning of Jacob or whatever, right? You despise it. We look at your face and see what you really think about it. You know, even some of you cheerleaders. Some of you cheerleaders understand and get it, but that ain't enough for the Heavenly Father. You got to stand stiffly for this name, right? For this thing. It said the same must know it after death by pain. So y'all gonna know it after death by pain. You know, so let's go back. Was I done with that? Yeah, I was done with Isaiah. What else we had? Let's go to Peter's. Yeah. 1 Peter chapter 1. No, chapter 3. And I'm gonna start up at 8. And there's a major point that we read in camp yesterday, but I'll pull it out down at 21. But 1 Peter's 3 and 8, it says, finally be ye as one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courageous. And those are some of the things. Courageous for what? For this word, man. To stand boldly in the such as has afflicted it, and push this word and making your body a living sacrifice. You know, those things by confirming the brotherhood. You know, you will know them by the love they have for one another. You know, beyond what the other men do for themselves. The common courtesy is something, is the low part of what we do. We have more than common courtesy within this brotherhood, you know. But at least start at common courtesy that you give to one another. These things will be what we're charity amongst each other, you know, faith. All these things will be measured upon what we this measuring stick, man, when the judgment comes. It says, verse 9, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are therefore thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. Yeah, the kingdom of heaven, that salvation, all that's a blessing, man. Key thing about that render evil for evil and all of that, the thing is, man, it ain't that same little way that the Christian church or whoever, Baptist church or whoever says it. I'm gonna pray for you. When they say it in a malicious way, we don't say it like that. You keep that to yourself. Like, you know what? May you understand, and may I understand the bigger picture and why we may have a disagreement. Because disagreements come and they happen. That's not a problem. That's meant to happen. That's all part of the trial of us trying to figure this thing out. Way back from the time of when he split up the broke down the Tower of Babel and confused everybody. So it's hard for us to all get on the same page. But the one place that we all are on the same page, that's called, at least, and Lord willing, of the elect, is through this word. So we have to find avenues to agree upon within this word. We have to decrease ourselves and put what this word says ahead of that. And being tight brothers, man, is part of that, right? Verse 10, it says, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil. This was in the book of Psalms, I believe. Book of Psalms, 34. Yep, it says, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. Right? Let him issue evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it or pursue it, right? The point is, that's telling you what we're supposed to be doing to measure up. These are the things to measure up. Let's listen to things to measure up right here. Verse 12 says, for the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. And praying and fasting, man, those are some major points as well. Especially praying, man. Prayer, man. I'm going to turn that off, man. Prayer is the thing, man. You got to pray. Praying is huge in this thing. You know? Whether you know them in Hebrew or English, Hebrew is better and more concentrated, so to speak. You know? But both count, man. Just do the best you can do. Most High understands your heart. He knows where you're coming from. And, you know, and he'll open those avenues to start putting them more in Hebrew and so on and so forth. So, yeah. It says, for the Lord, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai are over the righteous, and his ears open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord do evil. That balance again. He's for everybody. And this is mainly talking about you 2/3. You're coming into this thing, you're not sure, and you're kind of seeing it, and you're not sure which it is for you. Hey, these scriptures, this book basically, but these scriptures are the things that's gonna show you how to get in line and measure up. They give you everything you need for salvation out of this book. This book will give you everything you need for salvation. You know? It says, isn't that just? That's a just thing. It said, hey, you need to measure up and get salvation. But I don't know how to tell you that. That's what the Christian church does. They don't tell you how. Or the Catholic church, these theologian churches, they don't tell you how. They don't tell you what you got to do. Stop sinning. Well, what's sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. Oh, so those things. You know, we can't do as we can. We show our faith, which is the most important thing now. We show our faith and our obedience to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai by what we do, trying to keep his word to the best of our ability. That's the measuring stick. That's how you measure up. I'm going to keep going. Verse 13, and who is he that will harm you if ye be followers of that which is good? Yep, that's the good courage, right? Be of good courage, right? It says, but if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy ye are. Right? Happy you are if you suffer for righteousness' sake. It says, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Yeah, because you're going to suffer something, but guess what? He'll save you from the big deal. And we're meant to go through some of those scourges, some of those tribulations, some of those, what do they call it? Some of that chastisement, you know, for our benefit. It's for our benefit. Right? It's to test to see if we're good. It's to test us to see if we're good enough to make it, you know, deserve salvation. It says, verse 15, but sanctify the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai hearts, all man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you. We ask you in your daily life, we tell them then. We know it may be coded in your daily life, but on the streets we give it straightforward and plain. And even in your daily life, it can come straightforward and plain. It's up to you and the way the man asks, or whoever that is, asks you the question. You know, it says, having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, that they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But in Yahweh Shai, right? The whole point of that is basically saying, you're going to go through some bad. Are you willing to look like the bad guy to become a good guy for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua? You know? I wasn't going to get it, but Sirach, the second chapter, goes all into that. Prepare your heart, your soul for temptation. So on and so forth. You know? And in that down in the fourth, 1 Peter's, it tell you thinking not strange. I'm gonna just read it right here. 1 Peter 4, and I probably need to read all of this. Yeah, I'm gonna hit a couple scripts off of it. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober unto prayer. You know, and watch the signs, the prophecies, and pray. You know, be sober. Be you know, don't just be, oh, this is a good movement and I'm drunk at the moment, and then when you sober up, it's like, what am I into? I don't want to be in this thing. No, come into this thing fully sober, knowing what you're getting yourself into. Right? It says, and above all things, fervent charity among yourselves, among this brotherhood, though fellow believers. You know, that's a key. For charity covereth the multitude of sins. It said, use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of the Most High. Yeah, I'm going to keep reading. If any man speak, let him speak as of the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which the Most High giveth, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahushua Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Point here, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahushua's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, that ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. You know, so when you go through things and you suffer for righteousness, being looked at as the bad guy, but you're really the good guy, guess what? He's judging you with that. He put that on you, because some people can only play the role of the good guy. Some people, even in actors in Hollywood, they don't play the villain well, or they don't play the good guy well. You know, they only play one role well. Well, guess what? Being the good guys in this thing, the role to the world looks like the bad guy. You know, and that's something to have to suffer, not being accepted by people. Not, you know, you gotta have to get over those things, because you'll be judged by that. You know, so reading on back in 1 Peter the 3rd chapter, 17, it says, for it is better if the will of the Most High be so, that ye suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing. Yeah, and the well-doing is what you do according to this Bible. In your daily life as well. What you do according to the standards that this Bible has set in your life, man. What you do. How you measure up to the wisdom that's in this book. How you display it, how you speak it, how each trial and situation come up, how you deal with that. Brothers in Kansas, just over this past weekend, they dealt with that the right way. You know? They were being spiritual. When he came back to get carnal, to get judged, Most High delivered him to him, boom. And the proof of that was that the cops dealt with him in a harsh manner before the camera, you know, and dealt with the brothers in a gentle manner before the camera. You know, that's was for us to be built up, that the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai got you, man. You know, but when they did good, that's what came out of it. But when you do evil, guess what? That video where the guy was in a car and was talking shit to the cop, he felt that. And then tried to call Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, tried to call on it real quick. When the cop was like, it's too late, man. I put my gloves on. I'm about to arrest you. I broke your window, snatched you up out of there. And it's a wrap for you now. It's a wrap for you now. You know? He did the wrong thing. And the proof of that was how it ended up. You know? You gotta refer to these scriptures in the moment that wisdom is needed. You know? But if you're not studying, if you're not into this thing like that, if you're just kind of drunken with it, you know, as something that seems cool for the moment, you're gonna miss those key moments to pick up and use those moments of wisdom. You know. Anyway, reading on, it says, clouds outside. Anyway, it says, verse 18, for Yahushua also had once suffered for sins. Let me read if that's the part I want. No, I want to jump down to, verse 20. When sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, because this is the days of Noah coming back, right? We're the spiritual children of Noah again. Noah and the people that ventured on the ark. And that ark is the body, the temple of the temple or the tabernacle of David, you know, being built up. And that it says while the ark was a preparing, while this situation was brewing up with World War III and that great judgment was brewing up to judge everybody, where everybody had that chance to get right or not. It says, wherein few, that 144,000 and 1/3 versus 2/3 in the rest of the nations of the planet, that is, 8 souls were saved by water. Because the other nations can't get it, but the 2/3 would have the opportunity to get it, but they're not going to get it. You know, and that was prophesied and ordained as well. It was saved by water. Well, this time the water that we're saved by is this word, that we measure up to that measuring stick. But we'll be judged and condemned by fire, which this word is also an analogy for fire as well as water. Right? Verse 21, it says, the like figure whereunto even baptism do now save us. Baptism through this word. See if I can find that right quick. St. John. It's not in St. John. It's not in St. John. It's in, let me look. Shoot. I drew blank right now, brothers. Philippians, let me look. And the Spirit will give it to me. It's not there, man. Bear with me 1 second. Should get back with it, man. I'm tripping. It's Timothy's. I know. You know how you know where something's at? Well, I'm going to just quote it. It says, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. It's basically what I was getting at. Thy word is truth, man. This word is what washes you and cleanses you. You know, that's how you're saved, through this water. By washing of the water, which is the word. That's what I really wanted. Anyway, it says, verse 21, this is 1 Peter 3 and 21. The like figure whereunto even baptism do also now save us, not the putting away of filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High, by the resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach. But the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High. How do you develop a good conscience toward the Most High? Through this word. Through living up to the standard of this word. By rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of your ability. You know? by reciting wisdom and sharing it, making your life a living sacrifice, so on and so forth, man. This thing is serious, man. That measure, and a lot of people don't take that World War III nuclear missile, starvation. You know, they don't take these things harsh enough, man. That those scourges for a minute and that judgment, they don't take it serious enough. Well, guess what? It's gonna come and get you, and it's gonna destroy you, man. It's gonna burn you up, man. So let me move on. That was the point I wanted right there. About the where'd it go? But the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High. How do you develop a good conscience toward the Most High? By reading, studying, praying, fasting, making your body a living sacrifice for this word, going, being diligent in season and out of season. All these things matter. The way you operate within the brotherhood, you know, all of these things matter about measuring up, you know. Where we at now? Let me hit a few more scripts. I'm gonna just try to hit them. Jeremiah. Trying to keep this under a certain amount of time, but it is what it is, man. What verse did I want? Yeah. Yep. Jeremiah chapter 42. Yeah, I'm going to read up. I'm going to start at verse... verse 5. It says, Then they said to Jeremiah, The Lord Yahweh be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not even according to all these things if we do not even according to all things for the which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai shall send thee to us, whether it be good or whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of the Lord our God. Yahweh Bashim Shai said, to whom we send thee, that it may. This is the standard that you have to measure up to. This word, that's the standard. You know, this is what you obey the voice. We read it again in verse 6. Whether it be good or whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, or Yahweh, our power, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us when we obey the voice of our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, that you get you measure up and you get salvation out of it. Yep. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, it says, For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Everything is going to come before the Most High. He's going to judge everything you do. So you want to shed off as many negative things that he has against you, that they be wiped away and made clean and white, and put these good things upon them. That's how you do this, by measuring up, by following what's, to the best of your ability, what's in this book. Whether it be prophesying, teaching these lessons, going out, make your body a living sacrifice, brotherhood, so on and so forth. I've been naming them over and over because these things are key and vital to this thing, to salvation, you know. Because none of us, let's be real, none of us deserve salvation if we've all been wicked, right? You break one, you break them all. We still break them. But that's why I said not in Peter that not putting off the filth of the body. Let me go to that. Let me go back to that right quick, because that's a good point. Verse 21 said, not putting away the filth of the flesh, where sin and all that lieth within us, you know, but toward but the answer of a good conscience, meaning we're not trying to willfully sin. We're not, even though we've been told not to. Oh, don't do that. That's a sin. Okay, well, we stop doing that. When you repent from things, you know, that matters. That's how you have a good conscience toward the Most High. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. Yep. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start up. Yeah. I gotta start up. Yeah, I'm gonna start verse 7 because I always like that. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body, that filth of the flesh, right? To be present with the Lord in the spirit, to have a good conscience toward Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? It said, wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. Whether we're doing things in the flesh or we're doing things through the spirit, that we may be accepted of doing the right thing. It's just when you deal with this body and this carnality and this flesh, your chances of going off, man, of sinning are far greater than in the spirit, right? Verse 10, it says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, of the Hamashiach, right? It says, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. And that's scary, man. The things that you've done, whether it be good or bad, you have to answer for that at some point. You know, you're gonna, like the brother put up there, I think I had it, every idle word. Yep, I do have that in here. Let me get it. I think that's next anyway. No, it's not. I'm going to get it right now. Book of Matthew. I'm over there. Matthew. And I want to start up. Yeah, Matthew 12, verse 35. So a good man out of a good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. Like the brother broke down in camp. And this was sparked from camp. This was sparked from camp. I want to go a little deeper into some of these scripts that came out. It says, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, like it said in Peter, right? Of a good conscience, out of a good mind toward Yahweh Shem Yahushua, giving a good answer. Right? It says, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of a wicked mind bringeth forth evil things through his body, which is usually sin of some sort, right? Verse 36, but I said to you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words shalt thou be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned. So good or evil, you got to measure up to everything you say and everything you do. You know, this is the measuring stick. You got to measure up to everything you say and everything you do. Now going back into 2 Corinthians, I'm start back at 5 and 10. It says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body. That's why I say he will not meet you as a man. He ain't coming back to walk the earth and be cool and lay back like he was the last time, man. He's coming back to lay shit down, man. I don't know another way to say it. To set things right. And you people are so hard-headed. It took 2,000 years later, you still ain't listened from when he came and what he told you upon the earth. You know, you ain't learned from what happened to the Egyptians and what the power of the Most High could do with that. And all the way down, man. So now he has to show you a major event like that again, and he gonna allow his son that came through trying to warn you of it. He gonna come through and show you what he really all about. It says that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good, and you measure up, you start to do good. You add it to that spiritual bank account. Now you're starting to do good. You don't want to be the negative in that spiritual bank account. That's when you're doing evil and wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the Most High to close your account, man. Once he closes your account, it's a wrap, man. You basically took the chip and you're gonna catch that wrath, man. That's not what you want. It said whether it be good or bad, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord Yahweh Al-Shaja, as we used to call him, we persuade men. Persuade men what? To measure up to this word. We persuade you to measure up because we show you, hey, he gonna burn the eyes, your tongue away in your mouth, the eyes in their holes of your face. He's gonna burn the flesh off your body, man. Like in Terminator 2. Hey, he's gonna starve you to death. and you gonna still be alive. And man, the terrors that's written in this book, man, all apparitions and premonitions, and man, the things that's coming, man, you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with a newly created creature walking across the street in front of you, looking at you like a and he's hungry. You don't want to have to deal with complete darkness and blackness, can't see nothing, and then you just hear all types of wild beasts right by you. A lion roar, sound like he 10 feet away from you. You shit yourself, man. You know? Anyway, it says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Ashai, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High. And I trust also are made manifest in your consciences. Through this word, you're made manifest of the elect and all the good things of this word through your mind, man. What you do, have being of good conscience toward Yahweh B'Shem Ashai. You know, that you measure up. Right? Now let me go back to, did I go to that already? Yeah. Yeah, I read that already. So we're going to hit a couple more. Yeah, let's go to Colossians. Yes, a couple of these. Colossians chapter 4. Yeah, Colossians 4 and 4 and 2. It says continue in prayer. I just thought of something else also. Yep. It says Colossians 4 and 2. It says continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving, that you're able to see this thing, man, that you were chosen to have the opportunity for salvation. Because some niggas out there, man, they don't have a chance for it, man. They gonna see it and just be like, ah, and that was it. That was their one chance, and that's a wrap for them. You know, so if something's striking a chord and you like, hey, I see World War III and Trump and Putin and Z and Kim Jong-un and oh man, I see what's happening in Iran and Syria, and oh man, I'm nervous, man. I see the Brexit thing, and I can kind of see it. I see how the people are being wicked. I see the men of the Lord out here on the street teaching the Bible in a way I've never heard it before. If this thing strikes chords in you like that, then you need to take a deeper look into it, you know, because that could be you being called for salvation, you know. But make sure you count the cost if you're able to finish this thing, man. Because if you don't think if you believe you're able to finish and you're not, you're gonna be bitten with many more stripes than those if you have never touched it, man. But you're going to be beaten with stripes anyway if you don't get salvation. So consider that. I'd rather take the chance and have the opportunity for salvation and come up short and be beaten even worse than not to ever have had a chance. Me. Because I like to believe, which is not up to me, it's so the will of Yahweh B'Shem Ashai, Adawan Ratazah, I am chosen and of the elect, that, you know, that I make it, you know, to have the opportunity to make it. I'd rather go to an NBA tryout and get cut off the team, but make it into the building for the tryout, rather than just sitting at the home playing at the park all day, playing in the neighborhood with these low life losers. You know, test where I'm really at in this thing. You know, that's how I look at things. But you know, I don't want to just try out. I want to try out and make it. You know, I ain't gotta be the star of the team. I ain't gotta be the man, the franchise player, but I want to make the team. You know, because we all get, the ball boy got a ring, you know, on a championship team, man. You know, he ain't make one shot in a game. But hey, whatever. But he's part of that team. Anyway, it says, to wherewithal praying also for us, that the Most High would open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Yahushua, for which I am also in bonds. Yeah, we're also in bonds. You become a prisoner of this thing, man, which is a good thing. This is the type of prison you want to be in. It was funny because I believe the Walking Dead series, in there with all them Walking Dead and zombies or whatever, they one of the seasons, it might have been 3, I think it was 3. They held up in a they held up in a prison, which the prison became a sanctuary to keep them safe from the wicked or the people that's outside, to continue the analogy of it. You know? So being a prisoner in bonds in righteousness is a good thing, man. This is where you want to be in prison at. You don't want to be in a prison of darkness out there being worldly, doing the worldly things. That's not what you want, man. You want to be in this prison. This is where you'll be safe at. This is where he'll take care of you. You know, this is where you'll get salvation from. Anyway, it says, verse 4, that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Yeah, that we can speak freely the mysteries and the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, not to be able to say whatever the hell you want to anybody and not worried about what's going to happen to you, but speaking this word. Because people will hate you more for speaking this than if you cuss them out. You know? You cuss somebody out, they might be, whatever. But you hit them with some scripts on this and what's judgment that's coming for them, they'll try to kill you for this thing. You know? But the angels are camped around us, and Most High will protect you. Like they did in Kansas, so on and so forth, and many other times that things have gone on. You know? That's just the Kansas brothers, man, and Bukwasha them out there, man. That was just an example, you know, a recent example of that. You know, because like I said, during their life, we went through a situation similar to that out here in Vegas, so we know what it is, man. We understand the situation brothers was in. And I'm sure we're not the only 2 camps that ever went through that. I'm sure the apostles have been through that many a time, so on and so forth. Or even harsher and worse, you know. But even more glorious because, look, we're still in it. You know, the apostles are still here going through 9/11 and whatever else they done been through, you know. Anyway, it says, verse 5, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Them that don't have this word, man, you still got to show yourself to be an example of wisdom unto those people, man. So they see something different. That's why I said, whoever asketh you of a reason of the hope that is in you through Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, and you got to be ready to give them that answer to that and answer them with meekness about it. You know? When Jake come up to you and be like, dang, it's something different about you, man. What's up with, you know? Oh, I'm into this word. You know, I'm Hebrew Israelite on the streets, blah, blah, blah. Down there, come check us out. Or check the videos out on YouTube, whatever. You know, it says, verse 6 says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Yeah, and being able to do that, man, because some people need a forward answer. Some people need a gentle answer. You know, but you know how to answer each man. There's some people that come up to the camps that be like, I just want to know y'all niggas ain't punks. Before I get involved with this, I got to know y'all ain't punks. Well, you can see we ain't punks. You ain't got to be, just because you're smart don't make you a punk. You know what I mean? Some of the toughest guys in history were smart also, but that's not as understood amongst niggas today. You know, Jake don't want to he wants to keep he'd rather have a tough guy image than a scholarly image. Well, you can be both, man, in this thing. This thing has room for both, but you don't want that carnal tough guy thing to be what you're measured by. You want it to be tough mentally. I can go through affliction. I can endure this. I got faith of a mustard seed. You know, that's where you're tough at, spiritually tough, mentally tough. That's what matters more than being carnally anything. You know? So let me go to Ephesians. It's pretty much gonna repeat the same type of thing in the book of Ephesians, but it says it a little bit different. It reiterated to a different church. It was in Ephesus, right? Yeah, we read all of this, but Ephesians chapter 6. And finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Right? Wait. Let me read up more. Yeah, let me read up. Yeah, 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. And who are our parents in the Lord? It's the apostles of Great Millstone, man. That's who taught me this truth. That's where I got it from. That's where the brothers, this doctrine that I've found it at, you know, and everybody that I've seen that's under this doctrine, they give reverence to those men as being the ones that's pushing that doctrine out, you know, because when you do the research yourself and see, this is the 100% truth, man. Yeah, it's harsh and a lot of the world don't like it, but so what, man? It ain't up to us. We just got to do what it tells us to do. That's part of standing stiffly for the name, measuring up, because a lot of guys is going to come up short because of what the age of purity is, because of having to go out in season and out of season, and these extreme temperatures, you know, and rape doctrine. Not to say that you have to rape. That's not the point. The point is knowing how to judge a matter if rape happens, because rape is a relevant thing in the world, you know. So how do you judge a matter if rapes? You know, that's what this is in here for. Anyway, but people will be judged on that whether they measure up or not. And a lot of you guys are gonna come short because you don't have a name. Gonna come short because you don't understand the fullness of these scriptures about Cornelius and so on and so forth, man. Anyway, it says, honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. Right? Get that salvation. It says, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, and bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Yahweh Shah, bring them up to live this way with this word. When they get above full age and they understand, like my children even, they know that the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shah. They know that. They know basic things, do and do not. They don't eat pork. I do the best I can now. You know, the other side that they got to deal with, I can't control everything, man. We in captivity. I can't control everything. But you got to do the best you can do, right? Verse 5, it says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh. Yeah, the way you take orders from somebody, well, you will be measured with that as well. That's something that you'll be measured to as well. Because if you're used to always being the leader, well, you may not be the leader in this thing. You know, you may not be the team captain or whatever in this thing. You have to learn how to follow as well, you know? And this, because you, trust me, because instruction is given from the top, man. From Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai and down unto men. And some of those men will be above you to deliver it down unto you. And we're babes in this thing. Some of us that came in 07, 08, and time after that, man, we're still babes in this thing. The apostles been doing this back in the 1900s, man. You know, I say it like that, but for the extreme sound of it. But yeah, a lot of us came in 21st century kids, man, into this thing. But they were teaching this thing in the 1900s, 1990, 1980 somethings, 1970, when you go back to the apostles' elders and whatnot, you know. Anyway, it says, according to the servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling of your, not wavering, knowing that these men are Hashem Yahushai. You know? There it is. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Yahweh Shai. Do the will of the Most High from the heart, from a sober mind with sincerity, man. Said with good will, doing service as the Lord Yahweh and scripts. With good will, doing service as to the Lord. But it's, you know, how important that is. Let me see. I could be wrong. Let me see. I always mix it up, but anyway, but that's the point. Do all things as unto the Lord, man. You know. Anyway, it says, verse 8, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord Yahweh, whether he be bond or free. Whether you had to do it or whether you just did it out of your own, you know, or your own goodwill, so to speak, as an alm. He looks at those things, right? It said, but do them sincerely as unto the Heavenly Father. Hey, it's funny because Jake, when he built the pyramids for Egypt, they built them good. But when they went back and they did it for themselves in South America, you know, they were even better. They wasn't as great in size, from what I understand, you know, but or the same exact model, but they built them better though, you know. Verse 9 says, "And ye masters, do the same thing unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him." He don't care if you're a top guy in this thing, if you're the leader. Hey, you've seen, if you've been in this thing a little while, you've seen a lot of heads of camps get taken out or fall out of this thing, man. It's not something that, but if it don't, he's not a respected person. If there's leaven in you, man, he'll take you out and remove you. Verse 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, in the power of his might. Put on the armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." These are all spiritual things, so you have to come with a spiritual mindset first. But the way you cover yourself, which it'll go into, the way you cover yourself, it'll have you to measure up. You'll measure up, and you'll have the information necessary if you come from a humble and sincere place. And humility is big in this. I don't think I mentioned that directly, but humility is a big thing in this, man. Verse 13, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth." And these are analogetical, man. You know, though they're figurative, but the analogies of these things, man, they're figurative. They don't just mean having your loin, you know, but the inner parts of yourself be about the truth, man. Having your loins girt about with truth, you know, or your heart, so to speak, is thinking on righteous things, not thinking, considering what wickedness you can do and get away with. You know, you don't get away with nothing. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. The things that you do are with the preparation of the gospel of peace, pushing this word out, as well as being an example of the righteous person that are through Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? It says, "Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherein ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts." The shield of faith, which you'll be able to you go with the wisdom of this word, man, with the faith and belief that Yahweh Shem Shai will cover you, will that he have angels encamped around you, protecting you. You know, it says, "And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High God," which is this word right here, which is that measuring stick. You know, you take on this measuring stick and you measure up. You don't try to bring the level down to where you at. You bring yourself up to that level, to the very best of your ability. And you'll be surprised how you can actually move up to that level. We was laughing at camp yesterday, and people be like, "Oh, you think you better than everybody now? You holier than thou." The answer is yes, I do. Why? Because I follow out the book. That's why. You said it because you think it too. You know? Reading on, because there's more juice in this. It says, "Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai," because that's what translates all this information to us. That's what assures us and affirms us in things. Whether you may see a certain number that confirms something to you, you may see something happen. Like we be in camp talking about yesterday, got on the N-Dub at camp, and N-Dub come around the corner with a feminist shirt on, half naked with a feminist shirt on and blonde hair. Everything that's wrong with our women, you know, rolled up in one, came around the corner, out of shape and everything else. Came around the corner with great pride, and we got on her, you know, on them as a whole, you know. But that's thing that the Spirit will show you and give you. It says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance, because you got to persevere in this thing. There's going to be trials and tribulations. You got to persevere through them, and supplication for all saints, for everybody else, because we're all going through stuff, man. You know, that's part of that brotherhood, right, that you got to be measured in. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. Open your mouth boldly that you may make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds. That, and this is Paul speaking, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. We're supposed to be able to declare this thing boldly, the mysteries of the Most High boldly, the dark sayings that everybody can't break down and get boldly unto the world. Yeah, they're extreme, yeah, they're harsh, but they're the word of the Most High in sincerity and in truth. I'm going to hit one more and I'm going to close out. It's 1 Peter chapter 5. Yeah, 5 and 1. 1 Peter 5 and 1. It says, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua, and also a partaker, of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the, this is that measuring, right? It's telling you how to measure up. It says, feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And those things are necessary for everybody in this thing to be, not just the heads of the camps or the elders of the camps, but everybody needs to take that mind, because there's always going to be fruit under you until the number be sealed. So when there are somebody that may not be on your level, or if you're not on the level, that's how the men should be thinking that you're receiving from. Not to try to take their position and get the knowledge they got, just to be trying to get it. It says, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, right, but being examples to the flock. You know, being an example to the flock. So, of those that believe, the elect, right? It says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, Yahushua, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Verse 5, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another. The elder and the younger are both subject to one another. We both have place for one another. The younger will spark the spirit for the elder to break down things unto him, to give him understanding, to do a better job. And the spirit flows through all of that, making all of this possible. I get calls from brothers sometimes that just want me to ask me a question of the scriptures. Now I got to go back and look through it and study it, and it's building me back up, reminding me of the scriptures I ain't read in a while. You know, breakdowns I haven't seen in a while. You know, so it's all through the spirit, and it's all a beautiful thing. It says, yea, all you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, whether you be the elder or the head of the camp, all the way down to the youngest man in the camp. And this isn't by physical age, but by spiritual age, right? It says, that's a thing of humility in itself. Some of us may not be the head of the camp, but we may be the oldest man in the camp, or one of the older brothers in the camp. But it's all a humility thing, man. We all the heads of the camp, whether you be the head of the camp or you be the youngest spiritual man in the camp, we all trying to get one penny, man. And we all got to help each other get one penny while we getting our own, you know? That's the way this thing works. We working together for a bigger goal here, right? Anyway, it says, for the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace unto the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, Bashim Ashai, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So that deals with your brothers as well. Man, we all go through this thing, so we all help each other. You know, because you're not going through something at the moment doesn't mean that you're not going to be going through something. You know, but one day you will. You know, it'll be coming around. It'll be your turn next. That brother may be the one that you may have looked at sideways for him going through something. He may be the brother that needs to help you when you go through something. So remember that the Spirit gonna balance everything for you, man. The Spirit is gonna make it all work for you. It's gonna make this body work in its proper function. You know, so it's all about measuring up, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and read that one more time in 1 John. 1 John chapter 1. No, 1 John chapter 4. And I'm gonna start up at verse 2. Yeah, it says, hereby, 1 John chapter 4:2, hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesses that Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is of the Most High. And every spirit that confesses not that Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of the Most High. Because this book, if any one part of this book is not there, you know, and is not tangible through faith, think about that one, it's not tangible through faith, then you're not going to fully believe this thing. Then you're not a believer. You're an antichrist. Right? It says, and that's why I'm saying the words to this book. Right? It says, and this is the spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that should come, and even now already is in the world. Yeah, because people, it's not about being one, but there are many antichrists. As you go back into the third chapter or the second chapter. The second chapter, it says that there are many antichrists, people that don't believe in the Messiah, that are against this word, against this book. It says, ye are of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Ashai, little children, and have overcome them, those of the world, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. But they are of the Antichrist, and they will be destroyed, and they will not measure up. Right? It says, we are of the Most High. And how? Because we're doing the things in this book to the best of our ability to measure up, to get salvation. He that knoweth the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahshai, heareth us. He that is not of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahshai, heareth not us. Hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. So whether you measure up or whether you come up short. A lot of niggas don't even want to take the test where they come up, you know, so they go automatically come up short and fail and get destroyed. You know, so that was just kind of what I had written down. It ran long anyway, as I figured it would. You know, but hey, that's the spirit, man. Don't quench the spirit. So, yeah, Lord willing, brothers was edified. I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well and who feed the flock. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the house of David, the elect, those that will be chosen for salvation. Shalom.